Welcome back to the Unsolicited Advice Podcast, the advice you did not know you needed. I really struggled coming today to record. As you may know, I'm sitting in a booth and, I have to get up, get ready, and come here. And I kind of like that about it. Of course, you can get your phone and record and do voice notes and things like that, but physically having to come here is something that I enjoy the challenge of doing. It's something that I enjoy the challenge of doing, and I'm really proud of myself because today I started not to come. I started to call and say, hey, just cancel today's reservation for the booth. But I didn't. I showed up. I was a little late, but that's okay. I mean, I reserve it for a certain amount of time. And so it was mine whenever I got here. And now I'm here recording and super proud of myself for not slacking up on my consistency because that's what this is all about. Remaining consistent, showing up for myself, and doing hard things because we can do hard things. Um, so, what I want to talk about today is the power of prayer. Now, just being transparent, I would love to have researched that a little bit. I would love to have some talking points about it that I know that I've looked up and kind of analyzed a bit. But I didn't do that. And that was part of the reason that I didn't want to come. Like, I didn't have any inkling of what to kind of converse about. But if I think about prayer, just from my heart and talk about it that way, I think I would say it's one of the most powerful tools that I hadn't been using for decades. And if my younger self were to get a message in a bottle from the future, from me, it would say, girl, pray. It would say, girl, pray. Your words are so powerful. And more than that, the words that you say silently in your head, your thoughts, also prayers. Your words and your thoughts are prayers. And I would say, be careful what you talk about. Be careful what you think about. Be careful what you're listening to. It's so funny now how, people are saying, hey, these songs, these lyrics, you're chanting these things. These are chants. So, you know, nothing is more true as it relates. And I say that to say some of those lyrics you think in your head. And so those are your thoughts. Those are the things that you are praying. And it's really important to be watchful over those things, what you're letting into your temple. And so, yeah, I really like that. Your thoughts and your words are prayers, always and always. I like to say that. I think that that is something that I enjoy getting a reminder of because I need it. I've gone decades without prayer. It's like, girl, how are you standing up? Like, what are you doing? And it's so funny too because I was talking to one of my homegirls about it, and I was like, you need to pray because she's a praying woman, and her response really shocked me. And I think it bears mentioning because she said, I'm trying to think of how she phrased it because I was so taken aback. She said, I have to be mindful of when I pray because when I pray, something's going to happen. And I'm like, yes. Why is this a concern of yours? If you pray, something's going to happen. Now, she spoke a little further, and what I started to understand was that she could potentially pray harm on a person. Like she was so emotionally charged that she could start to pray, um, and something could happen, right? And I'm just like, girl, pray for good stuff. Pray good for them. Pray good for it. Because if I'm going to tell the business, like, you don't know her name, but she was talking about, it was a situation where it was a love triangle, right? So I told her to pray about it. And what I meant was pray herself out of it. Pray herself out of any connection to anything that is no longer for her, that never was for her, right? I'm like, pray about this thing. And, it was interesting that her mind had gone there, but I think so many fall into that. And that is witchcraft, period. Like, watch what you're saying, watch what you're thinking towards people. Um, and it's kind of in that space of gossiping too. And gossiping was like my thing, okay? I could gossip. But now I'm proud to say that bores me. That type of conversation bores me to death. Like if if something happened and it is now fixed, let's please speak about it as if it's fixed, because it is. You got the apology, you got the resolution, you got the answer, and you need to talk about it like that. Speak in power, because anything else is not that. It's weak. Oh, this is what happened. This is what they said. This is what they did. It's like, come on now. But it's resolved, right? Don't forget that the resolution. Matter of fact, start with that and end with that. So that's another way in which guarding our thoughts and our words, because they are prayers, is something to think about. And although younger me, you were raised in an environment that, you know, did not frown upon gossiping. They actually honed that skill. They actually sharpened that skill in the way that you were raised. That's okay. That's okay. But just listen right now and know you don't need that. You need to just focus on the solution. You're not an optimist. Well, matter of fact, you could be an optimist. You could be an optimist. You're not a realist, though. You're not a realist. Keeping it real is a way that your thoughts and your words, being prayers, also can show up and needs to show up differently. So you're not a realist. You are a solutionist. If there's an issue, you're not talking about the issue, right? Listen up. Listen to me. You're not talking about the issue. You're talking about how to solve it. Only. You don't need to vent, because your thoughts and your words, they're prayers. So you're only using phrases in which you are describing a solution. I don't know, what I'm going to do. I got to figure out a way to do this. Because once you start talking like that, you start seeking out those things. They'll be magnetized towards you. So, and it ain't going to come like immediately, but it'll come definitely, right? Okay? So you're not a realist. Don't ever say that. Don't ever call yourself that. Um, so yeah, that's my little spiel for today. I really am low on gumption. And hold on, because wait, what did I just say? I didn't say that. Let's strike that from the record. I have a I completed my goal. I have completed my goal, and I feel proud. And that is a piece of unsolicited advice that my younger self could do a lot with, and even my going forward self, my future self, right? My future self can do a lot with that same advice, because it feels nice coming from the heart to verbalize how good making this decision has been. This is one of the best decisions of my life. And so keeping along this path is it's kind of sweet, right? Definitely sweet. So keeping that up. And it's 11:11.